Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and I just wanted to do a quick recap of some of the types of graphs we have seen, or lines we have seen in our position versus time graphs. The ones we started off with, like when we did our battery-powered vehicle lab, when we graphed our position versus time, those graphs were very straight lines, and the only thing that really changed that some had different slopes. So if we look at these two lines, and we'll call this one A and this one B, we're pretty confident that A has a steeper slope than B. And if we use our slope analysis tool, otherwise known as a ruler, and we line it up on A and we roll it down to B, we can see that this very obviously they have different slopes. And we know that if to get to this position away from the origin, that A did it very quickly, it's done it at this time, and B is going to do it somewhere way off camera. And if we look here, same thing, if we go to a certain position, like right here, we can see that A got to that position long before B. B took a very long time to get there. So we know that this is faster and this is slower. And we confirm that quantitatively because we calculated the slope of each line, and because the y-axis is in meters and the x-axis is in time, when we divide meters by seconds, we get meters per second, and we know that is a speed. So this will have a greater slope or greater speed. B will have a smaller slope and a smaller speed. Now the next thing we did is we graphed our data from the wheel on the ramp lab, and that was really quite different. And if we accentuate that a little bit and really make it stand out, that lab, the wheel started slow, and then its slope of that line got steeper and steeper. So on line C, we know that as time increased, so as time increased, speed increased, because we can see that if we use our slope analysis tool, if we look at the slope at this part of the line, and as we go along in time, the slope gets steeper and steeper and steeper, and we're pretty convinced by this time that slope represents the speed or velocity of an object on a position versus time graph. And clearly with time, as it increases, so does the slope, so we know that the object's getting faster and faster. And if we wanted to know the speed of this object, we'd have to pick small segments of the line like we did in class and calculate that to see what the speed was at those time intervals. Just a little recap if it helps you out. I hope it does.